Hello and welcome to this matchup between Thabeast721 and coolkid. Right now, our numbers are as follows. The Beast has 12 points and coolkid has 5. Coolkid lost the last 2 matches, so he's going to be looking for some redemption. The Beast is on a win streak, so coolkid's going to be looking to knock that out. Now, I have with me Limcube. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I've actually had the honor to commentate quite a few of the Beast's matches. He has been a beast, to say the least. Pretty much unbeatable is at least what it seemed so far. Also, Little Curbs in the same division is looking to be a very strong player. But I'm interested. Maybe coolkid is the one to do it, to get the upset in. And just as a little bit of a reminder for everybody that may be here for the first time, we are going to be having 3 rounds of 15 minutes expert endless mode challenge. Whoever comes up on top, aka whoever has more clears after those 15 minutes, is going to take a point. And the 3 matches are going to be happening regardless. This is not like a best of 3 situation. There's going to be 3 matches, so 3 chances for those runners to get a point.
Ooh, coolkid getting a little bit of a troll thwomp right there, and the Beast getting first on the board with a clear with a don't touch the ground level. Now, the one thing to mention, it is going to be all 3 matches. It is done by points, but the best of 3, the one that wins 2 or 3, will get an extra point. So there is an extra point involved, so there's incentive to win.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at the standings right now, Blue Chocobo is actually in first, but the only reason he is I think, due to a forfeit that already happened for this week. So even though the Beast and, for example, Little Curbs are not in first, they are both undefeated so far.
Right,
and same for
wow.
Cliffy, actually.
Wow, the Beast already 2 on the board, just knocking them out. You're going to see a lot of like really quick start menu checks, and the Beast is feeling confident, already nodding his head. You're going to see a lot of quick start menu checks because they're wanting to see what the clear time is. If the clear time is low, if it's 45 seconds or less, they're probably going to go, yes, let's do it. 3 minutes is definitely not within that time frame.
Yeah. There's no real thinking to be done. It's basically, I think, as soon as you see something above 90 seconds, that's pretty much what I've noticed. Runners tend to just immediately hit that skip button, and the Beast now getting quite unlucky 2 times in a row. To be fair, he did get a little bit of good luck there at the beginning, found very, very fast clears. coolkid is looking at a pretty tricky level right there. I haven't really figured it out yet, but I was not looking at the screen. Oh, he actually just died on the final screen. Beats Batman, but I think he has the clear in his sights.
Yeah, so he found a level that actually set him up to be able to ditch Yoshi and jump to the end, but happened to ditch Yoshi a little too late.
Yep. And does take another death right there. Now the Beast actually has already seen the goal here of this level, but there is a clear condition. He has to find I think it's a 50 coins coin. In this sort, I guess this is almost like a maze kind of level, because the goal was very easily basically attainable. It's just about finding that 50 coin.
Yeah, and sometimes these levels can be down to the easiest, but not quite as easy as you think, because some people will find it right away, others may not. You got to kind of figure out whether or not you're in the mind of the level creator. He's having to go through quite a bit here. Taking a plummet.
Yep, he's believing in it. And I think even though it's definitely fair to say, and it's obviously a point that comes up occasionally, yeah, there's obviously some amount of randomness in these kind of matchups that makes it a little more fun as well. But it is definitely fair to say, as coolkid finds his clear right there, that specifically like level knowledge and game knowledge in general is going to help you a lot. There's obviously almost unlimited things you can do in this game, but eventually you have seen it all. At least you've seen the most of it, and you might be able to spot a specific level mechanic and then just play according to it. The Beast now is stuck in this pretty long auto-scroll. I actually missed the clear time for this level earlier. I'm surprised that he decided to play this one, if it actually revolves around taking this very long auto-scroller. Sometimes a fair point to make, by the way, clear times can kind of mislead you. Sometimes there is things like developer doors in place or shortcuts that you may not immediately find when you play a level for the first time. That can kind of mislead you in that way.
Yeah, it's definitely a trick of weighing what you can do. A lot of it has to do with what you've seen before, what you may seen. There's a lot of tricks of the trade. So he found the 50 coin, but he wasn't able to get it.
Yeah,
So,
I think I'm not sure if he just realized that. I'm not sure if he had to. Oh god, that one hurts, and you can see it on his face as well. As coolkid actually finds, I think, the second clear. So I think he ties things up with this one. I was actually pretty focused on the beast there.
100% tied. So it is 2-2.
Yeah.
With only 5 minutes down, 10 minutes to go. It's anybody's game.
Wait. Oh, okay. I was about to say he can't just simply like touch that goalpost. I didn't actually see the block there. But yeah, I think the beast kind of chose a little bit too quickly. Is he gonna find the cheese here? I'm not sure if that was intended from the level maker at least, but it works to say the least. And the beast is finding a pretty fast third clear.
It's a good thing Beast realized that was going to be a soft lock, because that was wow, man. That was really a oh no, coolkid getting 8. That's
amazing level design on the right screen for sure. This makes me want to play the game.
Oh yeah. I mean, in all honesty, look, with as much craziness as hot garbage as you can see in Mario Maker, those of us who have messed with Mario Maker 1 are familiar with hot garbage. But there are some great level creators out there. The Beast is one of the ones that you love to watch, because he has like the Mario Maker 1 record for 42 super expert no skips in a row. In Mario Maker 1, it wasn't endless. It was actually 6 levels, but you had 100 lives. So it kind of was interesting to watch him go through Mario Maker 1 and now just absolutely murdering Mario Maker 2. coolkid, to be honest with you, I'm not as familiar with his accolades and what he's done, but I can tell that he knows what he's doing, because he is absolutely rocking this endless mode right now and giving the Beast a run for his money. So
yeah, so far, I mean, we can definitely see a little bit of differences when we are spectating specific players, but the level of play overall is definitely still on the high end. Looks like Boom Boom is gonna hide a key here, but I'm not sure if this door is actually gonna... Oh, okay, looks like that's where we want to go.
Yeah, and there you go. It's now a Beast lead by 1, but coolkid is on the second checkpoint of this level over here. I mean, it's not looking like it's going to be too difficult to run out of this. It kind of looks like a pseudo auto in expert, which expert doesn't really have auto levels. It's not common for expert by any means. So that is 4 down for Beast and 3 for coolkid. We're waiting to see what coolkid's able to come up with on this level. A lot of time spent.
Actually, with so much happening on the screen, I'm having a hard time to catching all of these clear times when they initially check those. That's obviously some valuable information for you to kind of like gauge how long the level might still be.
This just looks like a one trick and go level for Beast, and nails it like nobody's business. Should be the flag. Maintaining that 1-point lead. coolkid did tie it up, but Beast saw that it was a really easy level. Boom, 5-4 for the Beast.
Boom, indeed. coolkid only 1 clear behind though, and we still have basically 7 minutes left on the clock. So there is no one can feel safe here.
It looks like this level on coolkid's side is like inside the honeycomb. Kind of an interesting little level here. Has to slow down a little bit because those spikes are timed. They are not a part of the on-off switches. Oh, so Beast has got himself a quick, not really a speed run level, but a speed level in the fact that you've got to get that, throw a box, get the other one on top, do all of that fast enough, and get into the door.
I forget there's this game, there's this boards game where you have to build like specific like structures. I'm with a timer. I forget the name. There's like this. I remember being like a kid and playing that. I'm not sure if that was a thing in the States, but there was like this game where you had a timer and you had to build specific structures. That's what that's reminding me.
Getting that one frame where the box is off the ground, still getting into the door. So Mario Maker 2 is actually pretty generous to you in the fact that it doesn't force you to finish the level by 0. You still have a full second on 0 to finish the level. So Beast was close, but it wasn't that close. It was actually a pretty pretty solid time there. And as far, I'm trying to think of what you mean, what game you mean. I know there was a couple of other games. There was like, oh, what was it called? There's a couple different ones.
Yeah.
And we are on expert mode. This is expert mainly because in the super expert is, I wouldn't say significantly harder. It's just you can run into levels that will gate you a lot faster. It's not quite as fun to watch, where all of these runners are probably sufficiently good enough to be an expert and super expert. And I believe Beast is still ahead by 1. coolkid did just clear, but so did Beast. So
pretty quick levels.
Beast is keeping that lead by literally a strand.
And one thing to point out, by the way, just in general.
Oh, excuse me, he's got a 2-level lead. Beast is at 7.
He's at 7. Wow, okay, that kind of like, I didn't even realize that he was already at 7. Pretty strong lead for 5 minutes left on the clock, but we've seen momentum swings quite a lot. Sometimes a specific person gets very lucky, a specific person gets unlucky, or even misplaced towards the very end. And no, I was about to say, can't grab the goal from there.
Yeah, he's looking for a bomb. That's what he needs. A bomb would let him in right away because it would move that over just enough. Or no, the flag is actually one more over. That's the second block over from the flag, so it's probably just on the other side of it. A bomb may get you through, but if it's 2 lines of blocks, then a bomb's not going to do it. Yeah, I was wondering about that right there. He gets the knowledge, but he's trying to get the Magic Koopas to help him get through. Looking for the cheese.
One more. And oh, wait, where did that Koopa come from? But anyways, that was a nice shot.
The Koopa actually came from the Magic Koopa. So the Magic Koopa actually got the he's loving it. He's thinking it's hilarious, and I can kind of agree. He got lucky that he got a mushroom out of that, but that's going to put that lead at 3. That's a sizable lead. That means we're going to have to get a level a minute or more for coolkid here. You know, and he's on like the slow auto scroller right now. It's not looking too great. Auto scroll for Beast. Nope.
3-minute level. That one gets skipped. A little bit of information that we did not really pass through earlier. First of all, this is a live match, by the way. If you guys are familiar with this format, occasionally we do also have a pre-recorded match to basically allow us to have all of these matches played in a row. And additionally, actually, I forgot the additional point. Oh, additionally, that game I was talking about is called Make and Break. I'm happy now. I'm not sure if that was actually a thing in the States, but it was pretty popular in Europe at least, and it's kind of like a building challenge on like a timer. Whatever. I got that information out there.
Yeah, I can't say if I'm aware of that one. That does sound like something that never made it to the States, but we had something like God, there was this old wind-up game that you used to put shapes in the holes, and if you didn't do it fast enough, it would actually pop everything up and basically give every kid of the 90s anxiety. So,
yeah.
But here we are now. We have coolkid taking a death and skipping. Honestly, that's probably going to put the nail in the coffin right now, unless he gets a lot of really quick levels. The Beast is doing a challenge level here. One thing to mention, there are 2 divisions. There's Division A and Division B. The reason why they're A and B and not 1 and 2 is because both divisions are not made based on skill. They are just divisions. So, while Beast is one of the best in Mario Maker, I'm not even going to deny that. coolkid is definitely obviously putting up a fight. So coolkid is more than capable of beating the Beast as well. So all of these folks are definitely extremely good at this game.
For sure. It is worth to mention that Division A is pretty stacked. While the Beast is definitely kind of crystallized as one of our favorites. Little Curbs, on the other hand, I'm not sure how much you've heard of him personally, but he's also really crystallizing as one of the strongest players in this game. He was also definitely playing a fair amount of Mario Maker 1. May have not been too popular at that, but he's definitely pretty talented.
Oh yeah, I am familiar with with Lil Curbs. I'm also familiar with like Failstream, Dragon Feeney. I'm familiar with a lot of the runners in both divisions. I frequent Mario Maker. In general, Mario Maker 2. It's a very fun game to watch, and that's why I'm happy to be a part of this. Beast adding another to the board. We got 30 seconds until the next round will start, so pretty much going to solidify Beast with the first win. We have 2 more to go.
I don't know if we have a stat guy in this, but I would be extremely interested in Beast's average. It may actually be around like 9 or something crazy. I've seen him. I've been commentating like 3 out of his 4 matches, and I think he's been averaging like between 9 and 10 clears every time, and that's pretty crazy. That should be a maybe like 2 or 3 levels clears above the like average, if that makes sense. The average for most of our runners. It's kind of crazy, and you can obviously argue, yeah, he got lucky, but I don't think so. There's only so much luck you can have.
Exactly. I mean, let's face it. There is an element, a small modicum of luck when it comes to this. But when you're constantly there, if you're constantly up there and just, you know, making the numbers in your favor, it's not luck. You can only be so lucky. So, and I've personally watched Beast. The dude's great. He's fantastic. So we are starting round number 2 here shortly. 15 minutes back on the clock. Again, even if Beast wins this one, we will have a round 3. There are points on the board, but this is going to be round 2. Starting off, we have Giant Goombas of Red Coin Swamp and Underground Vault.
And one thing to additionally keep in mind, if Beast was to take this match, even though we will have a 3rd match, he will also get 1 additional point, because the winner of the series will get 1 extra point in his account, pretty much.
Of course, and one of the things to also keep in mind too, it looks like Beast has a don't get the mushroom level. These are interesting in Expert. A lot of times the reason why they are in Expert is because they're not quite cheese-proof. A lot of times they are actually very cheesable. And like, for instance, if he would have gotten one of those mushrooms, he could have gotten through there. All he has to do is take damage from the shell. That's all he has to do. And there's a checkpoint. So it's not entirely difficult to avoid damage.
That is fair.
Throwing it to the right by mistake. Getting through. What is happening here?
Yeah, I was about to say, even if this level is about not getting the mushroom, the specific area is not really making too much sense. I guess you also did have to collect some red coins, which Beast just got done with.
I'm not sure if this level even knows what it's doing. I don't think the level even understands what it's doing. Random boss fight. Okay.
Why not throw that one in there?
Meanwhile, coolkid is going through it in SMB level. Looks like they might finish this right. Yeah, get in there. Okay. So coolkid is first on the board this time, and Beast is on his way, I believe, to that ending of the level really shortly. I think that's it down there. Or, well, maybe close. What is it? I don't know if this level even understands what it's doing right now.
Yeah, I'm still slightly confused right there, but this should be it. As long as he jumps into the goal right there, and now tying things up with 1-1. But coolkid gets to visit his level first. And this is an 8-second world record right here for coolkid. We will obviously see how difficult this one is.
Oh man, so he misses that just by a little bit. It's looking like there may be some dev cheese in this, possibly, or it just could be a really short level. The only reason it's an expert is because there's a lot of not really enemy spam, just enough to make it tough to where you die a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah, it seems like that's looking exactly like that, I think. And it's interesting, because one thing that we actually didn't even talk about yet, because these guys are obviously very skilled players, is that potentially you can game over in Endless. And if that's happening, that doesn't mean that you immediately lose the match or anything. We will actually handle that in a way where if you get a game over, you will be able to start over, so you already get the penalty of watching all of these animations while your timer is running, and we will also remove one of your previous clears. So for example, if you would game over while having 4 clears, you would start on a new board, and we would basically move those other 3 clears over in our heads.
Yeah, Beast not realizing where he was at, and even some of the best players, you hit the switch and you're like, oh wait, the ground is gone.
And
Yeah,
coolkid
so
did decide to not mess around with this one. Seemed a little bit too tricky for this format.
I'll tell you right now, one of the biggest difference between some of the players at the top and some of our other very well-seasoned runners is getting the right moment to skip. Taking a
Yeah,
little
yeah, I
too
agree. Very
long,
interesting. Yeah.
because like there's sometimes that you've taken a little too long and not knowing when to call it quits, and sometimes taking too long and just wasting that much time on a level. It's unfortunate because you know something like a 19-second level like Beast just got, like if it's killing you left and right, maybe it's time to pass it up a lot faster.
Yeah. And you know what I think is really interesting with this format, even though there is a certain element of RNG, I think eventually, if this keeps going, there could, like, a literal kind of like meta could actually basically be formed. At some point, we would have data that would basically tell us, okay, at around this, like, clear time, you should, on average, skip, and yada, yada, yada. I think that could actually be really interesting.
And that is a really awful checkpoint location, because it doesn't do anything for the level. But there you go. Beast gets another clear on the board. I believe that makes it 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. We went a little while without seeing a clear.
Yeah, that's true. And that was the second one indeed.
But
as far as I'm aware... Oh, coolkid tying things up immediately. Good job. As far as I'm aware, we are currently still looking into options to kind of make it more accessible for commentators and obviously viewers to constantly keep track of the clears. One little hint and advice that we can give you guys is whenever you see these guys check for the record or clear times at the very beginning, you can actually see the current amount of clears in the top right corner. So that you at least get a glimpse of it. You could see it right there. Clears 2 for coolkid as he was checking for the clear time.
yeah, and that helps a lot. That's something that we use to look at. I also just kind of keep a good idea of what I remember seeing as far as like ending touches. So we have Beast with another clear. That's going to be 3-2. Beast in the lead by 1. If coolkid can get into the flag, unfortunately he's kind of on one of the worst additions to Super Mario Maker 2. I'm not a fan of these things because they are just very little indication where they're headed.
Yeah, what speed is that? Is that the slow one or the fast one? Actually, and I always forget.
Blue is fast, green is slow.
The blue is the fast one, yeah.
Yeah,
and that
so the
still
blue one
didn't
is
seem that fast, but it definitely can kind of mislead you.
The trick with those that messes a lot of players up is you don't move on them. So your eyes get a little bit messed up when you're looking at it because you're like, okay, I've got to move. Well, it's moving. And if you're used to the older games, they actually moved with you. So it's really strange. Like they're useful in the right setting, but most people don't use them right. So one thing to notate, if you're not familiar with Super Mario Maker 2, or even if you are, clear conditions mean there will be no checkpoints. So these runners are going to have the obvious idea that, okay, if I see a clear condition, I will not have a checkpoint. My first clear is going to be likely accurate. So you know whether or not you're going to be able to use that first clear a little bit better. So it's looking like if he can just not take a hit. Okay, so coolkid gets on the board with a tie, but Beast does a clear right at the very end. So Beast is ahead by 1.
And that was quite fast and clever thinking from Beast there. Not dealing with those booms and using the flutter jump efficiently to make it into that ending section. But yeah, 1 full clear ahead, but once again, 7.5 minutes on the board, on the clock. And coolkid is able to find another 8-second clear level, but it's maybe the same problem then as it was earlier. These levels, while they are potentially quite short, might be specifically harder. Because you won't find an 8-second like straightforward level in Expert.
Yeah, Expert's going to tend to have a little bit less design, like, cohesion. You're going to see a lot of design issues when it comes to that, but it looks like he found a level where you have to hit the Koopas out to the right and then use them to get further. Oh, no, a P-switch troll. How do you avoid that? What do they expect you to do?
Oh, wait, that wasn't even like a troll. He just didn't make it in time.
Oh,
He
So
has to
go
hit the
fast.
P-switch eventually. Yeah, exactly. And he gets it this time.
Fantastic. I believe that's a tie. I don't think Beast actually hit another clear by that time. So boom, a tie. 11 lives, looking good over there. Beast with 20 lives. That's one thing about Beast that's a good separator too. Beast constantly gets 3 lives. He finds ways to get lives even if the level creator didn't give it to them. We are at 6 minutes left, so we are looking like again down to the wire. We'll see if somebody can pull away and really make a deciding factor out of this.
Yeah, Beast previously seen skipping a 4.5 minute level. Seems like he has something he's happy with right now.
Ghost houses are very trolly, even from normal makers. It's like it's ingrained in everybody's brain that if it's a troll or if it's a ghost house, it's a troll. You just kind of expect all the worst out of ghost houses.
I can see that. As soon as you said that, I had like some Carl Sagan thumbnail in my head with like the ghost house background.
Yeah, ghost houses, and it seemed to be that way with like especially SMW, vanilla SMW. They always had 2 exits. They were always oh, can you get away from this? Oh, look a big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh god, coolkid gets annihilated right there. That Goomba got pushed, and that's gonna cause him to die. Wasn't actually able to quite see his level as I was kind of focused on the ghost house on the left screen.
A star run level for Beast, so he's got to get in there, get this star in enough time without dying. It's kind of weird that the bullets are there. I don't understand what those are for. Maybe to joke you out, but as long as you get to the next star, you're pretty safe. And this level is generous with stars. He's got to get over to this last star.
Yep, not having audio here makes me kind of anxious, but nice.
So Beast gets another clear and pulls ahead by 1 again, seemingly getting that 1 level lead over and over again. But can coolkid take this troll level on and win or get another clear? I'm not sure what he's aiming to do right now.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him in the same level earlier in like a completely different section, so I think he made it past that point before, which makes me think he knows what to do, but I think he just opted to skip if I didn't like... Yeah.
Okay, so both of them getting Japanese levels at the same time and pretty much starting almost exactly same time. So we have 12 seconds and 58 seconds. A little bit higher on the coolkid end. I think Beast is about to get another clear because usually, yeah, there you go.
Okay, just gotta play it quote-unquote safe as you can. Manages to get that one in the books. And the Beast once again looking strong.
That's... Oh, man. That ending was just something else. So, but that is 6 for Beast, and I think that puts him 2 ahead. So we're hoping to see coolkid come away with a clear here shortly to keep this close. We have 3 minutes on the clock. A star is usually a good indicator of an ending because stars are typically at the end of levels, and the creator wants you to do a star run to stay alive.
Let's see if that was the case here and if that pipe does lead to kind of an ending screen. But it seems like this creator still wanted to have some fun, and coolkid is gonna take the death right there. I actually didn't see if there was any checkpoints in that level. I think that was the 58. Oh, there was. Wait, what is... I'm not sure how far that checkpoint was into the level, how much he still...
This was just before he did that star run.
Ah, okay.
And Beast is on a level called Liquid Hot Magma.
Rising Lava. Oh, almost clutched that one out. That would have been nasty. And coolkid can't be too far away from potentially his next clear. With the 58-second record, I'm assuming that this should be the last screen.
Pretty close. I just got to avoid hitting these spike tops. Yep, and there you go.
The case.
So we do have another clear for coolkid. That puts him 1 away from a tie. Now here's what happens with a tie. So if coolkid gets another clear and Beast does not, the tie is going to be decided by whoever clears their next level. However, Beast just cleared another level, keeping it 2 ahead. So we're going to need a couple of really quick levels on Cool Kid's end, and I don't think that qualified.
Yep. 7-5 for Beast with 80 seconds left on the clock, and obviously keeping in mind that between levels we have some sort of animations happening. So Cool Kid basically needs to find like 2 10-second levels and instantly clear them. Didn't even check, and actually very smart decision, by the way, in my opinion. In that kind of situation, you kind of just want to throw yourself at it, I feel like. So didn't even check for the record, it's just running through.
He jumped too early.
Oh, he saw that it was a speed run. I actually didn't even see that, but yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, if a level starts and you see 10, 15 seconds or 20 second start, yeah, there's no reason to even hit start. You know that the clear time's going to be 19 seconds. And with Expert, it's very rarely that it's going to be tough. You may take 1 death, and it's very rare that it's going to be that tight.
Cool Kid finds the clear though, so if he somehow gets really, really lucky right now and gets like a 10-second level, even that might not be enough. I don't actually exactly know how long these animations are.
If he one-shots, yeah, if he one-shots a 10-second level, he'll be good. But it's not looking on his side here. The story of Yoshi, it's going to be really.
Story already seems long.
Yeah.
Yep, that's going to be it.
Yep. Hoping for possibly a quick ditch, and you see when you see a checkpoint, you know it's probably not going to be it. So Beast does get second win of the day. However, that does not mean the end. That means Cool Kid has a chance to go ahead and get number 3. Beast will walk away with at least 3 points today. Beast will need to win again to walk away with a full 4, putting him ahead and on top of the leaderboard until other matches are finished. So stick around. Cool Kid and Beast are going to be starting their 3rd round here shortly. So Limcube, tell me, what do you think Cool Kid needs to look for and do to possibly edge out Beast in this 3rd round?
I think it's going to be really hard because I think Cool Kid has been playing really well. Like, I didn't really see too many like obvious mistakes. Okay, obviously you will die sometimes, but so far, and that sounds rough, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but so far it seems like the Beast has been just playing just this tiny bit better overall, and they both seem to be playing like at their best. They both seem to be playing at like the level they want to be at, but so far it's been just looking like the Beast is on top. But we'll see. Obviously, once again, there's this element of luck that can come in, but yeah, I'm not sure if you agree or not, but I think that's really what it's been coming down to.
Yeah, there's going to be just enough of the RNG that is going to have to go in Cool Kid's favor. I think if he can just work on skipping a little bit earlier, understanding when a level is just not working, that may help, because he is right on the edge. Beast is not exactly just running away with these. While the score may seem that way, it really isn't as much of a blowout as you think.
No, agreed, definitely. Like, just like last match, if he found one of those clears 10 seconds earlier and got a little bit lucky on the last one, boom, we would have had a tie. It's not that, like, it's still very close.
Now, Beast is on one of his, I'm gonna say, most familiar of runs. In his Mario Maker 1 days, NSMB speed runs were just absolutely rampant in that game. So, other than the slight physics change, this is right in his wheelhouse. So he's just got to land. Ooh, good lord, that ground pound cancel was absolutely insane. So he's going to have to do some jumps. I think he's about to be at the end here shortly with these triple jumps.
Nice.
Beast on the board with 1. Cool Kid still trying to get through this SMB3 level. Tell you what, chat, I know sometimes we don't like to think, but I'm curious. Tell me of your levels that you can make in a Mario Maker 2. I want to know what's your favorite. You have Mario 1, which is the original SMB. You have Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 3. You have 3D World and New Super Mario Brothers. Tell me your favorite in Mario Maker 2 that you love to see or play.
Yep.
Got New Super SMB 3.
Very interesting. Initially, I thought, when kind of like messing around with the game, that initially I really liked the 3D world style, but I think it got overused a little bit too quickly. Like, at least from my experience, I definitely am not even as close to the amount of like experience that these guys have, or potentially you even have.
I hate to cut you off, Limcube, but Beast just did a ridiculous save.
It was nasty.
That was insane. What he just did. He knew that it was going to come back and ended up saving it right at the last second. Finish your thought, please, Limcube. I just had to point that out.
No, I no worries. I definitely agree. There was some hot stuff. I was pretty much done. I was just gonna say that for me, the 3D world style got overused kind of quickly. I think my heart is with SMW. Probably because I grew up with the original.
I can agree with that one. SMW is a classic favorite of mine, but if I had to pick one for Super Mario Maker 2 alone, SMB1 is just fun, because I feel like there's so much you can do with the way you kick items off. You can't hold, you can't spin jump. There's just enough of a limitation that it allows for so many differences. And I've seen some of the most creative SMB1 levels, I do have to admit. So, but Beast, having to pick up all these coins, it's not exactly a speed run level, so he can kind of take his time to grab them all.
Yeah, and actually did miss that, but looks like this was not a get all of the coins clear condition. Just gotta grab 100, and he's already past that. Makes it to the goal and gets another clear.
So 2-1 Beast, and we're waiting to make sure if he can get that moon. And the issue with NS, there you go.
Nice.
So NSMV Bowser is like SMW Bowser. You cannot get through him. He is not what's the word I'm looking for? Not transparent. He is not,
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. You can see him, but you cannot walk through him like Meowser or even SMB1 does. You can't damage boost. So we are at 2-2. Beast is at 2 clears, just getting through this. He's a little bit ahead as far as what level he's in, but depending on what we see on Cool Kid's side, he could get a really quick level.
I really like Beast's facial impressions as well. He's like, specifically when these kind of levels come up, he's like, oh man, not even a challenge. Why is this even an expert? I'm not sure if that's what he's really thinking, but his face leads us to believe that sometimes. And I mean, to be fair, this man is potentially about to go 60 to 16 points. Basically, wait, now I need to do math, which would mean he basically is 12-0. Like, that would mean he won 12 matches and didn't lose a single one. That's pretty crazy, I think.
That's definitely a solid indicator of being a favorite. Getting a fun little bullet bounce level on Cool Kid's side. Yeah, these things can almost equal what a auto-scroller is, though if you see some sort of way out of it, you can probably do a YOLO jump to the right. Beast has himself a downward vertical level, and a lot of times level creators find themselves making these levels and making a lot of blind jumps, but this one's actually pretty solid. I like this level, to be honest with you.
Meanwhile, on the right screen, still looking at some bullet bounces. Actually didn't catch the clear time on this one, but looks like we are not quite done. There's a couple bullets left. The question is if he's gonna. The question is gonna be if he has to make it to that left section or not. Because okay, never mind. He's about to be done.
So that level is what we like to call only the scenery. You have to do one thing the entire level and watch the scenery in the background.
World record, ladies and gentlemen. You got to witness it live.
So
amazing.
We don't actually call it that. I just came up with that on the spot. But Beast gets another on the board. With 8 minutes to go, Beast is ahead by 1 still. Just or maybe that's 2. Chat's probably about to correct me here. Yeah, so it's looking like, according to Brungle, we have 5-3. So Beast does have a 2-level lead.
What even happened? Like, I feel like I definitely must have missed something. 5 clears with like 6 minutes in. Not too bad. I actually did miss his final clear count in the last round. I think it was at 7, right? Because I was talking about his average earlier. I think coolkid made it to 6 like last second and wasn't able to tie, and I think Beast was at 7.
That is correct. That is correct. So this 3D World has an interesting mechanic in the fact that the thwomps, for the first time in Mario Maker, are rideable. They don't kill you by touching you. You can ride them. You can wall jump off the side of them. They can push you. They have to squish you to kill you. So that was kind of a unique thing that that a lot of creators weren't really expecting. So a lot of the first levels that were made were very confusing. But coolkid puts another on the board, and he's going to be within 1 to tie it. So
yeah. The first time I actually saw that, I immediately had to think about the Celeste enemies. I don't know their exact names, but they're obviously Celeste platformer. There's like kind of a similar enemy like that. I don't think he can like actually squash you, but kind of like a rideable form.
He soft locks himself. Oh, nice soft lock. He might not have been soft lock. He actually didn't even check for blocks or anything. So coolkid's taking a skip, moving in on 6 minutes 30 seconds. I think Beast, with the fact that he saw the end, he's going to go for it and pretty much assume he can make it through. Finding a helper block. And you know, if you think about this, so funny thing about Mario Maker in general, this is a kid's game. You know, it's a game that you get for the Switch. You're like, let's get it for little Jimmy. You know, I'm sure he'd like this game.
Yeah, I think that's what Mario just does to parents. But yeah.
So here you go. You have all these levels that you're like, wow, these are really bad. Some of them are probably made by like 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds. So there's not all these 30-something-year-olds sitting out there making levels, because we have the nostalgic factor, and our levels are going to be vastly outweighed by the kids. How it's still 1 ahead for the Beast. So if coolkid can manage to find himself a 10-second level, 15 20, or 20-second level, you know, that'll be great.
And I like that you bring up that point. It's something that in this world of like Twitch and obviously high skill gamers that we all watch gets kind of like underlooked. Sometimes there's just this 7-year-old Jimmy, and mom came home from the mall and goes, "Oh, Jimmy, I got the new Mario game." And Jimmy's like, "Let's go," and he's building a random level, and that actually happens quite often probably in the world.
And then there's some people like myself. I mean, I have 3 kids. So I let my kids mess with the game. I let them have fun. However, they make a level, and I might upload it as like world's worst garbage, love my kid, or whatever. Like, so Beast gets ahead by 1 more. So we're going to be 2 ahead for Beast.
Now we know what to look out for whenever you see that title, guys. You gotta skip when you're playing in this format.
You'll be like, all right, that's UA's kid. I'm skipping this. I no heart. Boo that level. UA's kid needs to learn the hard way.
No. That's mean. That's rude.
I'd boo my kid's level. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness, guys.
I have tough love. I'm a tough parent. What can I say?
Hey, whatever works.
Getting a time out on Beast.
Not making it in time.
And
20 seconds, I think. Yeah.
coolkid actually doing a cheese strat here. He's like, you know, I like having this this one way here as a nice little buffer. I think I'm going to sit here and shoot you from the other side.
Nice. Patience gets rewarded. Boom Boom is down, and looks like another one is wait, was it the same room? I'm not sure. But the Beast, though, I blinked once, and he was able to make that last jump towards that goal post. And I think that probably was his 7th clear. I'm not sure if I actually kept track.
That was his 8th. That actually was his 8th.
Jesus Christ.
And see, this is what I was talking about. You know, coolkid has spent an enormous amount of time on this level, and the clear condition, you know, or the clear time may have been decent, but spending just as much time as he has, that has put him in a position where he's got, you know, he's got to spend all this time now. He sees the end. He needs a P-switch. So if he decides to skip now, that's all that time lost. A death
there we go.
Is unfortunate, because a lot of times you'll see runners skip after a death because they're like, I just spent all this time on this level, I'm skipping. You gotta almost just go ahead and take it. So he's got this. Oh, he sees the he sees the method right here. He sees the lore, chat. He sees the lore.
Yep.
He found the lore.
The canon ending. Cool Kid found it. Well, at least the clears on the board, but obviously a little bit of a hurting heart. You know, you came so close, you tried so hard at first, and I guess you got the clear eventually. A long way to go. 2.5 minutes left. Not quite over. There is a chance for Cool Kid to come back here, but it's going to rely a little bit on some nice levels.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to commentate with Beast, and I asked him. I said, you're one of the favorites for this in particular. What is some of your thoughts whenever you're playing? And one of the things he touched on was what is the cutoff time? Every once in a while, he said, I'll look at a minute level, a 60-second level, and I'll think about it. He's like, but for the most part, if it's getting down to the end, and I have 5 minutes left to go, I am going to skip almost every 60-second level unless it just looks like I can go through it.
I completely agree with that, actually. Like, without even being specifically experienced, I feel like that's something I've always been touching on from the get-go. And you mentioned earlier, what can Cool Kid do to maybe increase his chances of winning? And when there's when you fall behind, maybe you should just try skipping like really aggressively. Maybe that's what you gotta do. I don't know. But
it's a rough call, because if you think about it too, you got to balance how much you're skipping compared to how much time you're taking skipping. Because if you're spending all this time skipping, it's still about a 5 to 10 second loss to skip, because you got to let that next level load up.
Oh no! Sorry, Beast just got basically debated by that block.
It happens. But don't have things drop on you. Okay, there you go. Cool Kid getting another clear. If he gets a 30-second level, he can tie this.
I was about to say 8-7, so we should always keep that in mind still. It's not quite over here in this last round. The Beast now in that same screen where he just hit that, I almost want to say Kaiser block earlier. I'm not sure how long this level is still going to be, but Cool Kid is probably going to press the start button here. Actually, no, need to wait. Was that 5? Oh, no, it was 6 minutes and 5 seconds. I saw 5 seconds at first.
And Beast is actually in a position where he's going to have to, skip. So he has to find a level. If this gets tied, if Cool Kid has a level, he's just going to go for it.
Yeah, he's just got to go. That's the only thing he can do. Like, if he was to skip,
he couldn't even clear. You should have yellowed, because now you're in a subworld, and just you don't know how long the subworld is.
4 seconds left on the clock. The goal not in sight. Oh
no! Don't be here. Don't be right here.
Okay. At least that would have been. I was about to say it would have been horrible if that was literally like the ending. Yeah, but
I feel better that the ending wasn't right after.
Yeah, I see that.
Like,
I feel that.
I would have died if that would have been the case.
I feel it.
I would have definitely cried for Cool Kid on that instance. Let's see if we can get if they want to come in for interview. So Beast sweeps this particular run. So it was 3-0 the Beast. Beast goes on with 4 points. That is going to add to his score 4 points, making him 16 points and putting him ahead of Blue Chocobo. 4 straight wins. If we can get him in for an interview, we'll definitely ask him about that, as well as we'll ask Cool Kid how he felt about his tactics and what he thought coming in to play Beast. Oh, somebody's here. That's the Beast and Cool Kid. So Cool Kid, I'll start with you. One of the questions I wanted to ask: what was your plans coming into this? Did you have a set idea of how you wanted to approach going against Beast, or did you have any idea of what maybe you were going to do?
My goal was to not embarrass myself, and I think I did well. That was a lot of
hands down.
So I'm very happy with how I played. So something I could have done much better.
Hands down, I gotta say, man, you made that very interesting. There was plenty of times that it was down neck and neck. And moving to the Beast, you found every level you needed to just build a lead and keep that lead. There was a streak there, though. It felt like every level was just skip, skip, skip. And I saw the frustration on your face. What were you thinking around that time, and especially in round 3?
Yeah, so I was I was like blowing through it. I looked, I had 5 minutes left and I was at 8, I think, or 7 something. I was like, my gosh, like this is crazy pace. And then I didn't beat another level the entire round. So I was very mad. It was just like 3-minute clear, 3-minute clear, troll puzzle. And then I get one and it had invisible blocks everywhere. And I was like, I don't know how much he has. I hope it's less than me because I don't think I'm going to beat another.
Yeah, it got down to that point where it seemed to happen in every round, where just like the end just fell and you just happened to have that lead. But Limcube, did you have any questions for our runners? Limcube?
Oh, wait, I was muted? Wow, come on, someone muted me apparently. Anyways, one question that I was burning to ask the Beast specifically now that he is undefeated. I mean, we know most of it is due to the Beast chair, which apparently chat is thinking. But we are gonna have a little Curbs versus Cliffy next, and those two guys are yet to be defeated as well. Beast, who are you scared of? Is there anybody? Can anybody stop you? Is it one of these two guys?
I mean, Cliffy's very good. Yeah, I mean, if anything, like anybody could win. Essentially, like the way Endless goes, if one player gets screwed and the other just keeps getting good levels, you could see it be weighted. Like it could be a blowout on one side, but I mean, I'm pretty confident in playing levels blind, like just rushing through them and not dying. I guess it just depends on, you know, if one of us gets really bad luck, maybe, or if I'm just playing bad that day. I don't know, but
Beast play bad? What? Those words have never been uttered in a sentence, I don't think, just by the way.
All right. Before moving on, though, I'm going to ask both of you guys, just for a little bit of hype, predictions for that match. Lil Curbs, Cliffy, both undefeated. Coolkid, who do you think is going to take that one? If you don't really know their playstyle, just guess. I think I just want chat to be hyped or something.
Cliffy.
Cliffy, okay. Beast, who's going to come up on top?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident. You got to vote for yourself. Come on.
Wait, you're gonna win Cliffy versus Lil Curbs? How are you gonna do that one?
Cliffy. My bad.
Actually, I think Lil Curb's gonna win. Curbs he's a really good player. He practiced really hard, so I actually think Curb's gonna get it.
Yeah, I think I would go with Curbs.
Oh, okay. Now Cliffy's gotta redeem himself. And if you guys want to get a shot at watching this, we will be right back after a little bit of an intermission with exactly that matchup. Cliffy versus Lil Curbs, both yet to be defeated, haven't lost a single match, and one of them is probably gonna lose a match right now, unless they tie forever and never clear level, and we are here tomorrow still. But probably not. Make sure to stay tuned and see you after the break.